What kind of hardware solutions are you putting your models into at this?
We have a smart board and the smart computer that can be like some of the US products or some of the Indian products as well. AI at the edge to the decision making. Mostly on the software side we will focus on.
You're doing drones, you're doing autonomous vehicles, you're doing lake cleaning, you're doing semi-humanoids or humanoids to the extent. How big is the team?
Team is small, 15, but now we have given the 20 offer letters. They are about to join. 35 members team will happen. But we use a lot of interns. You need even student, 10th class student also. My daughter does the robotics for us.
Okay.
So she's in 10th grade.
Okay.
And she assembles all the parts for us.
Okay.
We train her.
In robotics, there's very few women entrepreneurs. So we'd love to know more about your journey. So where did it all start for you?
I'm always been an entrepreneur in heart. It was there in our mind to do something, not to take up any jobs and develop some products. We built a similar product to like a Swiggy before Swiggy even started. So like that AI also came into our lives when I was working in my corporate world.
AI and robotics. There is this threat that they will basically make all of us redundant. How do you see that?
When computers came, it's the same thing. So it is going to take away all the jobs, but it created more opportunities. I don't see any losing of jobs or anything like that, but it's like any other software.
This seems more like a diplomatic statement to me because we're seeing all the major companies firing thousands of people.
It
Where
is
are they
not
going?
like that until unless you need to update yourself, you will be non-functional. So now if you see all the students are eager to join.
Thank you for joining us, Ms. Prabha.
Thank you, Mr. Pallav.
Really appreciate your
me.
time. PredictML, that's the name of your company.
Yes.
Doesn't sound like a robotics company. Are you a robotics company at all?
Semi, I would say, because PredictML, ML is a machine learning we wanted to use. We are using the deep learning as well. So we wanted to give the technology what we are using to the name. So rather than some robotic names and all. So we turned that ML deep learning into the robotics to showcase our products and how PredictML can take the AI into the edge.
Right.
So physical product we wanted to showcase, so that's why the robot turn into.
So perhaps as Elon Musk puts it, you solve software and then you just deploy it on a different piece of hardware.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So what kind of hardware solutions are you putting your models into at this point?
So we have a smart technology, smart boards and the smart computer we talk it. That can be like some of the US products or some of the Indian products as well. But we use the heavy programming, RAS programming for the robotics movements and AI at the edge to the decision making. Mostly on the software side we will focus on with the hardware and the mechanics. So basically.
Wow. So there's a lot of jargon out there. So help us break it down here.
Sure.
So first of all, what's the difference between machine learning and AI? ML versus AI. What's the difference?
So everyone talk about the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is like it thinks like a human, right? So for us, when we are walking, something happens there, and then some obstruction come, and we stop, and then we know how to navigate it. That's a human intelligence.
Yeah.
So machines also we are making them like that, with that kind of intelligence. But for that it needs a machine learning and the deep learning to do that activity.
Okay.
It just takes you to the artificial intelligence is go there, but it just stops their robotics. Robot stops there. It doesn't have the intelligence to navigate.
Yeah.
So we are giving the intelligence through the machine learning and the deep learning so that it can be easily object avoidance, situational awareness,
Right.
vision analytics, everything will be embedded in the using these kind of technologies we put together our product.
So is it right to say that you use ML to identify that this is the obstacle?
Yes.
And then use AI to figure out a path to avoid that obstacle?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. And then you've used another terminology, edge.
Right.
So help us understand. So we are talking about cloud, we are talking about on-premise, servers, and now we are talking about edge. What's the difference between these things?
Yeah, so edge is the one giving the decision power. So how it started also, we were in Hyderabad, we started exploring to many of the C-level folks who are there in our network and whom we know personally also, they were connecting to their CIO level and then all the people. When we are showcasing our the intelligent products what we built, they couldn't understand how, they're not, I wouldn't say couldn't understand, they always get confused with the analytics. So analytics is always like, the next step after your operational data you capture in the source system. Then they do massage your data and then, okay, this predicts your data into the, in 2025, this is going to be like this, 2020, next 5 years it gave you the prediction. But what AI does is, AI not only gives that kind of stuff, by AI is like, how to improve your business also by seeing your geographical location. If you are a, some product development company, the products will be more fetch into the northern side or southern side. Some similar kind of a customers, how they are doing the business, it has all the kind of intelligence and it will guide you and it will tell you if you make 1, 2, 3, 4 changes, by 26 you will be like 150% rather than 110% what we visualizing.
Okay.
So this kind of things we are trying to explain them, but they couldn't see, they always get back into the analytics, as analytics is very old technology for last 15-20 years it's been there. They get confused. So this is where we thought that, okay, for them the intelligence has to be there in the AI, then they will understand how the AI, they can see the real time, they can see how it is going to be, what we can visualize in the next 5 years, they can see real time. That's where we took the AI to the edge.
Okay.
So the decision making power we are giving the smart computer so that the person, the end user can understand very easily without any interference. So this is where.
So you are taking the black box that is AI and putting it on a hardware so that someone can actually see the AI in action.
Absolutely, yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, but why edge? Why not on the cloud itself?
So cloud is a decision. Yeah, sorry. So cloud is after you come back, you do the, you'll connect to your system and do the analytics. But here we are doing the real time. So our computer has the real time when you are sitting 20 kilometers away from the system where your robotics, whether it is a drone or the Land Rover, what we have put together, you can see from here what that robot is seeing. So which is a real time you are seeing, okay, if you are sending to the agriculture, you see some crop needs a fertilizer, some crops need a pesticide, then that will come back to you, and then you process that data and then you see that.
Right.
This is how the current existing model is coming up.
Right.
But with the edge, it goes there, the decision power is there in the system.
Okay.
That one, it knows that, okay, I am seeing the cotton plant, one is needs a pesticide, one it is need a fertilizer. If you put the 2 bottles in there, it will spray that. It's not like spray only the fertilizer or the pesticides. It has that kind of intelligence that it can perform the task.
So instead of sending out 2 different drones, one to capture data and come back and analyze, and then one to go out and do the repair, you have now one drone that is going out doing both of the things at the same time.
Correct, exactly. So
amazing. Okay, okay. And does that increase the cost of the edge device?
It's a little bit more, but when anyone buys some product, they need to see the longevity rather than the one time.
Okay.
So typically what I've seen in India also, they always wanted to like, okay, my initial cost would be less. So even it works for 3 months, I'll throw it away. Then that mindset has to be changed when it comes to the artificial intelligence and the this kind of products, because you need to see the longevity of my product, how many times I can, how many years I can use it rather than one time deal.
Right.
Because most of the drones were, in the exhibition, the AI Summit, we happened to have the exhibition, one scientist. So his entire life is in drones, 30 years. And he was coming and asking, I have seen so many drones are crashing, and how is your drone different?
Yeah.
So I was explaining him, the drones doesn't have the eye and the intelligence, but our drone has the eye. It is going, and when something is obstructing it, it know how to navigate it, and then it goes, avoid the situation and go there. So for example, if the tall tree, if it is flying there, it knows that, okay, how to avoid the object, how to not to stuck in the tree.
Right.
So it will navigate and goes there. So he was very much impressed with the product and the demo what we have given, and he was
Right.
actually reaching out offline as well
Okay.
for us to take to the next level.
Okay.
So some of the things we have explained, and that was our differentiator from the any other companies out there. So yeah, the intelligence.
Cool, cool. So it's very rare that we see women in C levels within corporates. Even rarer to see women founders come out. These days things are improving a little bit, but in robotics, it's almost invisible. There's very few women entrepreneurs in robotics.
Absolutely.
So we'd love to know more about your journey. So where did it all start? So have you always been, so where did it all start for you?
So I'm always been an entrepreneur in heart, but sometimes you are very happy in your comfort zone to come out of it and do it. When I was living in US for many years, and then we established a company and doing some SaaS projects. So that was continuing there, and then after moved back to India in 2014, it was there in our mind to do something, not to take up any jobs and develop some products. So that time it was like, Amazon was like, how it was selling the books, and then online things were like catching up. We built a similar product to like a Swiggy before Swiggy even started. It was like, in the final stage and all, we invested everything by ourselves. It was there, but we are afraid to take it to the market. So it's an Indian mindset, who will buy food online? So we don't be like a cold, it will become a cold. That time still we have the gourmet kitchens, and then we have the helpers and doing the fresh food, right? And who will be like in waiting for 40 minutes. So it was just lying down on the shelf, we did not take into the market. It's like that me and my significant other, we were passionate about technology. We were both in the technology side, and we keep on building products just for the fun, like how to see kind of a thing as well. So like that, AI also came into our lives when I was working in my corporate world. I was in charge of one operation project. I'm the business head for that unit. It's like very challenging kind of a role that was the business model itself. So I was like keep on thinking how to make my life better. So that's why we started this AI. Before AI ChatGPT came into the picture, we started developing automation, like how to build the automation. Then we bring the AI also into because AI was there before into when we have the Tom Cruise movies itself, right? So, but we know AI, but we don't take it to that will turn into like this. But we were using that thing to see how to predict. The work was like in 1 month, it was like a 2,000 tickets. In 1 month is like a 12,000 tickets. So like very difficult to adjust the staff also to handle the volume. It was like very chaotic. So all of a sudden I have to pull the people to do the overtime and all the kind of stuff. So people were like quitting because it's like exhausted with the. So then I came up with like which month is how to predict it, how to do the intelligence to bring it to see that. So it's just for me to make my life easy. That's how we started these chatbots and all. So the same way there itself, I have a huge number of volume of the people to recruit, and that during the COVID times, proxies everywhere. Like employees also, like even L0s, L1s, and everyone is like in proxies. How much ever cameras you are doing it, and they were doing all the things. Then we built a recruiting
proxies chatbot. As in people who are interviewing, someone proxy was sitting in front of the camera, but someone else was.
Someone is talking. You can do the lip sync as well. So you have the 360 degrees cameras, we put it there, but still they were doing it. So
did you design the system that helped them or that monitored them?
I helped the system for me to see that how that thing can be avoided. So the recruiting software, recruiting, and then resumes also like flooded with thousands of resumes. Not relevant to the job, but that's why resume screening bot also we developed. So just to help my life easy. So that's how it started to that. And when in the corporate itself, we are seeing some of the vendors are coming up and then presenting these cases when AI became in the next level. Then we thought that we have all these products are there, then why don't we come up with.
Got it.
So that's how the AI journey started. But coming back to the robotics is, when we, as I said, when we showcasing to the C-level people, very difficult to make them to understand unless they see visualize the product.
Right.
So we same software we put together in the product.
Right.
So then people were able to see what it is, and we are getting lot of inquiries also with that. Can we use this in the real estate?
Right.
We have the multiple plants are going on. Can we use it in the cleaner power plants, which is high level, high terrains? So
Right.
can we like that? So that's how turn into.
What's your educational background?
Andhra University BE, Bachelor of Engineering, MS in Penn State University in US.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So you've always been a techie.
Correct.
Even
yeah.
in your corporate career, you are an
in the
individual
technology
contributor.
itself, right? Yes, in the technology. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay. And I'm assuming you know, you had a road towards that as well. So not a lot of women in engineering even back at that point, I
Correct,
assume.
correct.
So how did you end up getting into engineering in the first place?
I always wanted to become a doctor, but
Okay.
yes, I mean it's not like a very desirable thing, but medicine is like, you know, one thing is like a long, you know,
Oh, yeah.
long, and my parents said that they don't want to send me for coaching or anything.
Okay.
If you wanted to study, you're on your own. So we're
Okay.
not going to send it to the coaching or anything.
Okay.
You just by yourself.
Okay.
So that's how I studied by myself, no coaching, nothing, and I got into the universities, the free seat, and obviously they have to make me to study.
Right.
So I'm from Vijayanagaram district
Okay.
in AP, and that time they don't want women to be studied as well. But I'm always a very bright student from the beginning as a child. They don't want to stop my education, but the only condition is if you get a free seat, you will get it. I'm not sending you for the coaching as well. So
Any specific reason for that?
it's nothing like that.
Is this a societal
Just
thing?
a
is it?
society thing, and then that time is woman is like always like, you know, the girl goes outside, right? So,
Oh my God,
So it
okay.
was like that. So they said it's if you study well, you will get it.
Okay.
If you free seat, you will get it. Otherwise, you're not studying. So it's like that.
And how did that translate from medicine to engineering? Why did that
So
transition happen?
medicine, I got in 10th is both science and math got the 95.
Okay.
So I have to trade between the medicine and the engineering thing.
Okay.
So I'm always a math brain too.
Okay.
So obviously, even though I have the liking for the science, but still I wanted to settle down in the career also very quickly. So I took the engineering side.
Okay. So as a medical student, you'd probably be studying until you're
For a
30,
long
35.
10, 15 years, and then probably would have been settled down in US itself. I wouldn't have come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like that.
And then, so how did you end up going to the US? Is it a part of your corporate journey or something?
No, it's always after when we are studying in university, and everyone is like, you know, by third year itself, they're all preparing for the GRE,
Okay.
SAT and all.
Okay.
And that's part of that. And that time itself, the SAP came into the picture. So
Okay.
SAP market is like, you know, everyone is like, even nurses, drivers, everyone is like getting into the SAP side.
Right.
So that's how I also got into the SAP that time itself. Like I paid 3.5 lakhs for the course itself.
Wow.
It's like,
Okay.
yeah, during that time. And that's how the corporate journey started there.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And this is not your first company per se, right? PredictML is not your first entrepreneurial.
no, we have a company in US also. 2007 we started. We were doing SAP projects. It's still operational, but since we moved in India, we did not actively looking into that company. But whenever some customers are reaching out, and then we have something is running over there.
Right.
But we wanted something to be in India. So we always have that back of mind that we wanted to give back to the society. So born and brought up here, studied and everything, free education, government has offered that. So we wanted to give back to the society. So we always wanted to do something in India itself.
That's the most interesting piece for me. So throughout this conversation, you've kept saying we, never I.
Right.
Who's the other half?
It's my significant other, my husband, and he is also very technical.
Okay.
And so we both discuss any things he do. He comes up with idea, but that idea execution and then see the reality whether the idea will fetch or not is on me. But US company is all on me. So US company I started,
Right.
and it's me, and because I'm the more into SAP side, the projects wise and all, it's me.
Right.
But after coming to India, the technology side, he was there. So any technology things comes up, because those are all non-SAP things.
Right.
So for me, little knowledge, but I have the infra, network and all the other knowledge is there for me. So we combine it together, some application is coming up, we both discuss whether it is viable in the market or not.
Okay.
So it's not like me, even though I'm the founder, the brain and everything is me, but I have to give him the credit as well, because the technology is his technology I will be using.
So you're the business side of the entity and he's the technical side of the entity.
But I direct him which technology hits also.
Okay.
So that's where he goes all over.
Okay.
He's like, if one technology is today is coming up, he's immediately keep doing it. I have to stop him. So no, focus.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the one we need to take it to the market. Otherwise, I'm shutting down the company.
Okay.
So then I need to bring him back into the. Otherwise, he's all over. His technology is. He's more very passionate about the technology. So
Wow.
I have to bring him to the table.
So we were supposed to have him on this podcast as well, but unfortunately he's stuck up with a deliverable for a client. So we don't have the pleasure of talking to him yet, but perhaps sometime in the near future.
Yes.
But I'd love to know more about your journey. Where and how did you meet?
It's a purely arranged marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, so we both are Indians, but we don't know each other.
Okay.
So it's all one vacation I came here, and then it happened. I mean, that time my parents were saying that you have to get married and go.
Oh, so you
time.
didn't even have the option of talking to the guy before marrying him?
So it's all
Okay.
after settling down. I mean, after the fixing the marriage itself, we started talking.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
it's been 25 years so far.
Okay.
Married
That's
for
wonderful.
25 years, yeah.
Okay. And obviously you've done a lot of things together and you're running a very strong company. So
Yes,
it's been a
yeah.
wonderful ride for you.
True, yeah.
So I would have loved to have spoken with him as well. Unfortunately that he's not here today. But anyway, so coming back to that earlier journey. So obviously you've had a rough ride in your younger days when you had to be completely self-sustaining in terms of
Yes.
finding a free seat for yourself and all of that. How has that changed over your life? Has being a woman, has that been a positive or a negative, or has it absolutely made no impact?
It is actually positive. That made my personality very stronger.
Okay.
So from the beginning, I'm like this, right? So it's like when people see me, they think that I'm very strong.
Okay.
So the strength came. It's not by my appearance. It's like the way I speak. I think the personality developed because of that. So I was never a timid. I was never afraid of doing anything complex task. Even if it is things a negative, also I turn that into a positive way. So initially, as a woman in the IT itself is US, it is different, but US is also woman has the glass ceiling.
Right.
So there also you will be like going to the senior director, you will be stopping.
Okay.
So going into the VP level, especially being an Indian, very difficult. So I was there at the senior director level in the corporate world, but the company has been, we established a company, we are doing work. But in India also, India is more. So women leaders are, if you see, very rare, as they have the lot of responsibilities as well. So for me, it was never the case. I always built a support system, even though I don't have the very much parental support or in-law support from the beginning. That made me to do the lot of things on my own. So which is I don't depending on anyone. I learned to do it by myself.
So every challenge made you stronger.
Correct, yeah. Every challenge made me strong. But here when I get into the AI also, people were very skeptical that I'm being an SAP person, how I'm going to be there in the AI side.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of learning, and then I'm very quick learner. So
Right.
when I half an hour interactions with my significant other every day, it's like I know what is the technology is like day to
Latest
day is changing.
developments,
He will
yeah.
be doing the R&D and he will update me. Then I know what is happening and how to progress the company
Where
in
to
that
deploy
direction.
it.
Yeah. So it was, but after when people started talking to me, then they realized that okay, it's not that the women they don't be ignoring or anything. That things are like moving after I get into. So
Yeah.
even if I send alone him, the deal won't click. If I go there and then show them the true picture, how we are going to deploy it and all, they will be like initial, okay, come, let's do it.
Understood.
So we'll
Yeah.
close the deal that way.
Okay.
So
So you are a strong businesswoman, you are a great storyteller, and you close deals.
Yes, I would say.
All right. All right. And along your journey, what has been your toughest moment as an entrepreneur, as a woman entrepreneur?
Um, so, as I said, any toughest thing, I will make it as a adaptability is the main thing.
Yeah.
While the journey, a lot of toughest things are coming up, I cannot pinpoint or anything, this is the most toughest.
Yeah.
I will take it as a challenge. Okay, this challenge came, this obstacle came, let me overcome that obstacle. So, I always sailing through the obstacle, getting into. So, even if a deal doesn't go also, I always believe one door opens and one door closes, one door opens up.
Right.
So, like how you see how we turned into robotics, right? But we started with SaaS, and then we are able to get some profitability and all. But when we wanted to expand, the scale up thing, this way, everyone explaining them, this one it doesn't have. So immediately we overcome the challenge by putting a physical project, physical product.
Right.
So this is how we see one couple of months we stuck there. So what do we do? What do we do? So these people are all the known people. When the known people itself we are not able to explain them, it's very difficult to crack the deal.
Right.
So then we turn that into a product. So the challenge that's a challenge.
Right.
So 2-3 months we were like in a standstill position. What next? So how do we turn that business into the next level? So we came up with this product. So this turn, that's how we were like a channeling through navigating the obstacles. Everything is a challenge. Business one day is like you are building the cloud 9 thinking, oh, we have like 3 or 4 customers are like lined up.
Yeah.
And another day is like absolutely have nothing to do.
Yeah.
But this is the business, right? So being in the experienced person in the corporate life I have seen is that's way.
Right.
So that all the wisdom and the knowledge what we gained all these years also helping the business not to get panic like the startup. And we know that it is going to be very, it's not like I'm not seeing like very short sale. I mean, not the short sale is like I need to prove myself within 1 year. I don't need to prove anyone because I know what I'm capable of. So I have already proved enough. This is just a beginning. I need to take it to the next heights. So this is where my positive outlook changed after becoming an entrepreneur.
Right.
So it's just a one day good day, one day bad day. It's all in the part of the deal.
Do you look at yourself as a startup or a business?
I would be thinking like a business itself. I won't consider myself as a startup, as I have already done my business there.
Right.
But the startup here itself is like the product.
Right.
It's a startup is a product, but with technology, what we have is already been there in the system.
Right.
For us. So it's not like a 5-year-old experienced person coming up and starting up, learning everything by himself. So you name it for the recruiting, you name it in the how to procure the people, how to get the customers, everything is there in the system for us.
Right.
So I wouldn't consider myself as a startup, I consider myself a business, but as in India it's a, like a startup, and we wanted to make use of the startup India, believe in
the energy around it.
Energy around it.
Yeah. And how are you funded?
Self bootstrapped.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all bootstrapped.
Okay, I suppose your SAP company is funding
and then
this?
for our we have a SaaS products also, right? So the SaaS products gave us the revenue.
What are these SaaS products doing?
So we were working with some of these customers. This particular case of their healthcare, pharma industry, they have some of the business use cases we have resolved. With that, we have done a lot of POCs.
Is this using machine learning and AI again?
AI itself, yeah. Completely AI.
Okay.
So as we said, we have the 15 products lying down there and the bots we have done.
Right.
These are all use cases itself for the companies.
Right.
So when we established a company, we started reaching out to the customers.
Okay.
And then
so you started
we got
clearing up the dust on all of those products and started selling
them. We did that.
Okay.
So that is so that one is taken care of to a certain extent.
Right.
But that one doesn't go like that.
Right.
So that will go like this, but we don't want, if it has to go like this, why wouldn't have to quit the job?
Right.
We are like very well paid individuals, both of us. We don't need to, that we wanted this.
Right.
So that to happen, some big thing has to happen.
So going forward, do you see yourself as a robotics company or a software company that happens to do robotics?
So that's the second point.
Okay.
Software company, we wanted to do it, but as I said, some companies are approaching us. We liked your to integrate everything together.
Okay.
Then we need to reach out to you, get the licensing and all, complaints part and all. We are open for both at this point,
Okay.
but we wanted to prove ourselves as a software company, which is giving the edge AI, physical AI for the B2B businesses. But we have some enterprise customers directly. They are procuring our products as well.
Okay.
So many enterprise customers are in the pipeline. So,
And who builds the hardware for you then?
so we are building, we are procuring and assembling.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's no in-house hardware R&D per se. There's just
Assembly.
assembly.
So we procure the products and we'll build the R&D. Yeah.
Okay. And when you're procuring these, are these from Indian vendors or foreign?
So Indian vendors.
Okay. So all of your
All are made in
hardware
India.
and
Yeah,
software
correct,
are
yeah.
essentially made in India.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of products have you done in the hardware space so far?
So hardware space is GPU cloud is the main one for us.
Okay.
So GPU cloud is the brain for all the training and everything happens. So we have partnered with a data center and we have co-located our servers in there.
Okay.
So all our cloud products also there.
Okay.
And we use the entire hardware for our R&D and training, for the customer trainings also. And until we built a customer GPT for the customer, and then we deploy on the product for the SaaS model. So that entire thing is on the GPU cloud itself. We have our own private cloud,
Right.
which if any customers wanted to, we have our run a kind of a platform who anyone can come in and build their AI products.
Okay.
So we gave the virtualization and all
So
for
at this
the
point, it's infrastructure as a service?
infrastructure as a service. Yeah.
Okay. So you have a SaaS as a service,
Correct.
you have infrastructure as a service, and then you also do hardware products as a service.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And in the hardware as a service, what kind of products do you have there? The kind of drones, and do you have anything else apart from drones?
We have drones, Land Rover,
Okay.
and we have robots. So robots we are not manufacturing, but we are working the software they are asking for it.
Okay.
And we were tying up with one robo company. They wanted to doing business in the US itself.
So when we talk about robots, are we talking about humanoids?
Humanoids, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Currently they are all running with remote.
Okay.
So they don't have the autonomous. They're asking for the autonomous.
Okay.
So autonomous at the cost, very cost specific things.
Right.
So we are writing a ROS programming for them to autonomously navigate, not to use any of the products as because of any of the other components,
Right.
to cut down on the cost.
Okay.
So this is where all the lot of ROS programming is coming into the handy. So they wanted to use in the hospitals, they wanted to use in the receptionists, they wanted to use in the 3-star, 5-star hotels, robots, events.
Robots as waiters.
Yes, robots, events.
Okay.
In the events,
And these are all autonomously driven.
autonomously, yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay. And have you already deployed these somewhere?
We are actually in the R&D, almost is done.
Okay.
So we have already partnered with the customer who is required this.
Okay.
That one is in progress. Maybe like next 2-3 days we will be demonstrating for them.
Oh, that's
the
why he's
product
not
is
here
ready.
today. Okay.
Yes, yeah, product is ready. Drones we have demonstrated.
Okay.
And Land Rover also we have demonstrated. We have a customer for lake cleanings, and then he wants that to be on the lakes, very heavy product for him.
Lake cleaning?
Lake cleaning, which is all the Hyderabad cities and all, we have many lakes are there, right? Currently they have the lake cleaning things are happening either manual or remote way, the boats.
Yeah.
So they wanted that our product to be autonomously navigate and detect wherever the trash, debris or water bottle, can, spit, anything it considered as a thing.
Yeah.
Vision analytics we are using.
Okay.
So it will navigate whenever it sees, like it sees the plastic bottle, it navigates, it gives a message to the thresher to move, and then it goes there, navigates to that one and pick it up.
Got it.
It sends the signal and do that. Same thing we are doing it for the warehouses also.
Okay.
So warehouses currently everything is a remote or some autonomous, only the lines they go. But whereas ours is a vision model. So wherever the direction it is going, it will For example, when I send my robot to the scanning the entire stock which is delivering to the customer, if the aisle 22 has the t-shirts and aisle 20 has the pants, and by accidentally the user puts that one, the labor puts it in the,
Right.
it has the intelligence to send a message, and real time also it showcases the 25 boxes in 25 aisle.
Okay.
So someone will move that, or it sends a signal to the nearest to the
Right.
operator that this is the mistake has supposed to happen. That's how it works.
No, what blows my mind is the amount of work that you're doing. You're doing a SaaS company, you're doing an infrastructure company, now you're doing drones, you're doing autonomous vehicles, you're doing lake cleaning, you're doing semi-humanoids or humanoids
Right.
to the extent. How big is the team?
Team is small, 15, but now we have given the 20 offer letters. They are about
Wow.
to join. 35 members team will happen. But we use a lot of interns, lot
Okay.
of part-time people, like 2-3 hours who are the IIIT people. So these are all, they were interested in learning the robotics.
Okay.
So and then we have the freelancers. All the experienced people, we use the freelancers. See, AI is latest technology. So it's not
Right.
like you needed experienced people to do the work. You need even student, 10th class student also. My daughter does the robotics for us.
Okay.
So she's in 10th grade.
Okay.
And she does she assembles all the parts for us. So those
Okay.
kind of, we train them.
Okay.
We train her. I mean, that's how, we don't see like engineers only, I needed something like that. Anyone whom you train, anyone you know the welding and then all the kind of stuff,
Right.
the hardware thing, they can do it.
Right.
So not only IIIT people, diploma holders also needed there. So a lot of people there in the market.
Right.
So we have the word of mouth that, you know, ma'am is hiring. So like that, even my cook's daughter is a EEE girl.
Okay.
She wants a job and then she comes and does the work whenever she is free.
Wow.
So like that, we have one time is like 90 people we ran it. So we have hardware people, they were all there before itself.
Right.
It's going on. Few hours they'll manage it. So remotely we control.
Got
Since we have this many years of experience, our knowledge is equal to 10 to 15 people.
Right.
So that 10 to 15 people work, we mean my significant other is doing, right? My
Right.
partner is doing.
Right.
So we don't require a very big team to do the work.
Right.
Where we sort out our ecosystem does everything for
Oh
us.
yeah, I mean, you've managed 2,000 people at one point in your corporate
Absolutely,
life.
yeah, right.
Yeah, so you know how to get the best of the people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Got it, got
Yeah.
it. But all of this must be so draining, I would assume. How do you cool off?
I take a long strolls for every day, like an hour,
Okay.
45 to 50 minutes.
Okay.
So just to put my thoughts and planning for the next day what it is, and that is my outlet.
Okay.
And I see people, I say hello, I wish them, I'm very social.
Right.
Wherever any activity happens, I'm supposed to be there. I balance out everything, like, you know, work and then fun. Last week I took my daughter to the mall, and then after her exam, she wants that, even though I'm busy, but I wanted to be there with her. So this is me and her time.
Right.
So I balance out a lot of things,
Right.
and we
And I
have a
suppose
dog.
your office itself is a playground for her with both the parents in
Correct,
the
yes.
office.
That's why we took office close to our home.
Okay.
It's only 5 minutes away,
Okay.
so that whenever her free time, she can come and then do the work for her.
Right.
So it's, I won't, if there is no work for me, I get bored. So this is where I go cranky. So it's
Okay.
like I need a 24/7 except the sleep hours. Somehow I need to be occupied. Then
Okay.
my brain functions better.
Workaholic.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
All right, all right. And so what excites you the most? What are you most looking forward to in the near future?
Do something different every day and then meet some new people every day, learn something from them. I learn something from you by this interview itself. From every individual, I learn something. So it's very interesting to think about certain personalities and then how the world is, changing day by day.
Right.
And every day some technology news comes up, and then how we become, like that, and take it to the next level. It's not necessarily money is the only thing I would be looking into. What I can do better every day. So today I'm like this, and tomorrow how I can do something better.
Right.
Whether it is a small thing, it's not like a simple step, like half step. It's also a learning.
Right.
That positive looking forward for the next day makes my day brighter.
And obviously, during your childhood, you had your own journey where you said you had to sustain by yourself and all of
Right.
that. Given that context and given all the work that you've done, what do you advise your juniors or the people that are reporting to you who are women, and what do you advise your daughter who's just coming up in her life?
So I would advise whatever they do, they need to be passionate about doing something. Without passion, it feels like work is also feels like a burden. So that itself I have tell them in my corporate world also. Many girls were like, I'm the role model for them because they see me how I motivates the team as well. The thing is they need to enjoy what they do rather than they just coming for paycheck. It is never, if you just come for work for the paycheck, you will never grow. You're just jumping from the companies. You will not achieve to the next level. If you wanted to become an entrepreneur, if you want to challenge yourself, you need to extract the potential from you. That way, everyone has a certain level of potential. Somewhere other, the laziness and something will be making you like a
I guess
draw you
laziness
back.
is gender agnostic at this point.
My daughter is very lazy to from the beginning of the when I was seeing her child, she is very lazy.
Yeah.
So I identified, okay, this child is going to be, if I don't take her life into my hands, and she's going to be lazy.
Right.
2 years itself I put her into the swimming.
Right.
So it's like they won't allow in US, they won't allow the 2-year child. So it's like mother and daughter swimming.
Right.
So I started getting her in the pool and then swimming. So she's into so many activities, her life is so occupied. Now if she doesn't go for play for 1 hour tennis, and she will become cranky.
Okay.
So seeing her laziness, early childhood itself, the parents have to identify how the child is. What do you need to do to make them to active? So if you make them, okay, sit in the potato couch potato and do nothing, you will become like that. Your child becomes. So parents have a significant role to play for this generation children.
Right.
Not to copy from others, encourage them to extract what they are capable of, and then learn from others, not for the bad stuff. Always we have the choice to pick good and bad. So it's your parents' responsibility to whom your child is interacting with.
Right.
You need to be involved to a certain extent to train them in a way that they won't afterwards, even if I don't follow her also, I know that she won't do bad things. So I established a system in the last 10 years I put her.
Okay.
So now even if she wants to do something bad also, she won't be doing it. So like that, you need to spend certain number of years with your child. Then we will not see all these crimes and all these things in the society. But the parents have to play a significant role. It's not only the educated people. Parents nowadays are like so busy. But in spite of me busy also, I always make time for her. I always listen to her. And
this is a lesson to me as well. I have a couple of kids. My younger one is a daughter, 1 year old. So how much time should I be looking at spending with them?
So 1 year old is like playful type.
Yeah.
So when you need to know the personality, but second year onwards, you will know whether she just wanted to lie down and then doing nothing, not showing any interest in something. This is the time you need to take her.
Yeah.
So she always wanted to cling to me in the 1 year itself, 2 years itself. So when I was interacting with one of my friend, and she was telling that if you take her outside, anyway she's been there out there, you do things with her. So second year itself, I started being with her. Whether it is swimming or ice skating, I was like with her. Ballet dancing, gymnastics, you name it, she's into everything.
How did you find time for all of this amongst your...
Afterwards, after work, like my day starts very early. I'm like go to work by 7, I'm at work.
Okay.
And reach home at 5, and then remaining time with her.
Okay.
Take her to all these activities.
Okay. So AI and robotics, there is this threat that they will basically make all of us redundant. How do you see that?
When computers came, it's the same thing. So it is going to take away all the jobs, but it created more opportunities. Any software come into the picture in the Y2K time, mainframes, it's going to be dead, but the new technology took over. Similar way, always opportunities for in whatever the front is. So it makes more people more smarter, competitive with the software. So I see I don't see any losing of jobs or anything like that, but it's like any other software.
This seems more like a diplomatic statement to me because we're seeing all the major companies firing thousands of people.
It
Where are
is
they
not
going?
like that. Until unless you need to update yourself, you will be non-functional. So now if you see, all the students are eager to join. So people are approaching me, ma'am, you don't need to pay anything, you just please hire in your company. It's like I have so many requests in the LinkedIn, many students came.
That is the proof of the pudding.
So
right?
they wanted to be, if you people are very laid back and they don't want to adapt to the system, they will be behind. The mundane tasks obviously is going to go away. Create the sales order day after day, thousands of thousands. Some mundane tasks will go away. Automation. When the automation came, and then I myself is interfering with the automation things. Many tasks were done like that in the application side. That eliminated certain jobs.
Right.
Similar way, people need to get into the adaptation of the AI. So it's like a difficult software, but Python is very old software, right? You don't need necessarily be the programmer, but it's easy software. Lot of open sources are there, lot of help is out there. People need to get themselves into the system.
So what would be a few career paths that current engineering students or current undergrads could be looking at in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, machine learning is the program coding is going to go away. So they need to come up with a smart way of doing in the system. They need to keep updating themselves what is coming in the market. So even if I started 5 years back in a very fruitful company, today it will be useless.
Right.
If you are not adapting the AI there.
Right.
Because many of in the neighborhood, many companies were the old people of our generation are struggling to get into AI, but there is no survival for the company if they don't get into the AI. So they are approaching me asking that, how did you learn everything? So my company, we are not able to learn that it's not getting into our brain. So those kind of people, they need to rely on some help with that. They need to take up the courses and then go some. That's why ISB is like flourishing with their leadership roles. So they're really milking all these the heads.
So
the company
education
small
is a
to
lucrative business at this point.
Education is very lucrative business, I would say. So many education schools also, they wanted to engage robots to direct the people. Their schools approached me for, can you have your drones to monitor whomever is not roaming around, do all the kind of stuff. Education institutes are approaching me. So one education institute approached me, they need a robot, my technology with the robot, like meet and greet them.
This is really scary. You're talking about a Chinese surveillance sort of a situation where, as a student, I cannot even walk out of the class and jump over the fence.
So it's becoming. They wanted to, because currently what happened, you cannot hit the child. Like when we are doing that, if the teacher doesn't hit, you will be like a hero, right? But now, if you scold, also parents are making a big deal. So we are not giving them the any opportunity for teacher to do anything. So obviously the machines they need to have a proof also. So I have analytics also, right? So something, if the parents come and then ask also,
right,
the analytics see the CC cameras, they know how to avoid those points.
I feel so sad for the kids these days.
But they cannot avoid drones. So it's like 3 or 4 drones are in the campus running.
Yeah.
They will be capturing all the real-time data of what is the student is doing. So that the schools will be covering themselves.
Right.
So that's where many schools approached me for that kind of a use case. But coming back to your question, everyone has to get into educate themselves, including the C-level people. No one's job is safe.
Right.
Now, if you don't talk about the verbiage to your CEO or show them the growth and then future strategic line, their job is also in threat. So those kind of days, like how if you don't know if you are computer illiterate, you will not have a job.
Right.
Type machines went away.
Right.
Computer came. You learned computer.
Right.
Similar ways, slowly everyone will adapt. And Indian society or any society is like, that is how we evolved, right?
Right.
From the monkey to now.
Right.
So we'll sail through. It is not that there will be always a solution. Sooner or later, we will always figure out a solution. Especially Indians, it's like for them, they know how to navigate.
Right.
Very smart brains, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Ms.
Sure.
Prabha. Appreciate this. It's been wonderful speaking with you.
Same
and
here.
Here's to many more women like Ms. Prabha breaking the glass ceiling. And we hope to bring her to more colleges during our seminars and all to inspire more girls to take up AI and robotics and more advanced technologies.
Yeah.
We hope you'll have time for us
Sure.
for a little bit there.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.